Hi guys, and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to talk about some other ways you can look at branding. Some of these new ways might just make something new click for you, and it might just make the whole process easier. As was said in Mary Poppins Returns, sometimes it's good to look at things from another way or another point of view. So first of all, if you are new here, hello and welcome. Please subscribe and join us. I make videos on branding, visuals, social media marketing for independent music artists, and I upload on a weekly basis, so please stick around. Also, comment below with just how you find branding at the moment, what you find difficult about it, what you find easy, just how it's going for you in general. Let me know. I also have some courses available which are linked in the description. One is a 20-step branding course which will take you through the whole process, so check those out if that is useful to you. And now let's dive right in. Okay, so what I always say is branding should be the authentic you. It's not something that's commercial. I think back in the 2000s when bubblegum pop bands like Steps were out, I think it was very manufactured. It was very false. It was very much like, oh, we take these core people and we paint them like this and then woo, they will sell. I think it is very different now, and with the rise of social media and independent artists being able to get further by themselves without the help of labels, it has become a very different story. And authenticity is key. Authenticity is a key trend amongst social media at the moment, and I think it's also key to artists in order to have longevity in their career. So let's just get that out of the way. It doesn't have to be commercial. You do not have to sell out. It is literally just you being you intentionally. That being said, I'm going to just explore some other ways of looking at it. Something new might click for you. It might make the whole thing easier, and that is always a good thing, am I right? Okay, so the first thing is it's being unapologetically yourself and an exaggerated version of that. So a lot of comedians sort of say, oh, on stage it's a very exaggerated persona. So they take the core elements of them and just push it further. So I think that could be a good way of looking at it for you, especially I've worked with a lot of artists lately who have wanted to experiment more in terms of their fashion style. And they've sort of had these little inklings of, actually, I kind of like this flamboyance in David Bowie or Harry Styles or whoever. And so that's just been a little thing in the back of their mind that, oh, maybe I could play with that. They're not going to go down to Tesco dressed like that, but for a photo shoot where it's or on stage where it's very accepted to be a little bit more exaggerated, that's where those things can come out. And could be just little seeds that are planted in your head that are like, oh, actually, I can go further with that on stage or further with that in a photo shoot or a music video, because they're outlets where it's totally expected that you do that. So just see what is at your core and see if you can exaggerate that and see if that sounds fun and authentic to you, because if it doesn't, then don't do it. But like these people I've worked with have had these little things that are like, ooh, I might want to try that. So yeah, look at it as being unapologetically you and exaggerating that where possible. And not just in terms of fashion style, in terms of your values or your story or what you shout about. You might care about female empowerment, but online it might come across like that is all that embodies you, and that's what you stand for, is female empowerment. So just, yeah, exaggerating. Okay, the next way of looking at it is every decision you make shapes your brand. And this is kind of true anyway, but if you think every time you do something that shapes your brand, I think you would consider doing it in a different way. So every caption you write, every message you write, every photo you post, every photo you take, every little tiny component shapes your brand. So if you asked yourself before doing any of those things, is this how I want to be seen? Is this me? Is this how I want to do things? Then I think maybe some of those messages would be reworded. Some of those captions would be made longer. Some of those fashion choices would be more exaggerated. So I think just, yeah, try and get in the habit of asking yourself that before every tiny decision, because every little component is a little tiny piece of your brand, and together it makes this collective world. And there are bigger pieces, and obviously your music is at the core and that's always the most important, but every tiny thing still helps to paint a picture. So yeah, see it as adding to and cementing your brand intention with each decision you make. And this could be little things, like I said, or it could be bigger things like a campaign or a photo shoot or a video. Every little thing comes together. Okay, so this leads nicely on to the next point, which is seeing your whole brand as a jigsaw puzzle. Your music is in the middle and it's the biggest piece, and it's at the core. It's always going to be the most important. What pieces are you going to add? Are you going to add a color scheme? Are you going to add a certain type of shirt or a headpiece? Are you going to add being really sweary in your communication? See it as every little piece, and you might start off with a simple puzzle. It might have 5 pieces, or it might even have 3 pieces, but those pieces you're so sure of that it's easy and it feels like it's flowing. Or you might have loads of pieces and actually your brand is complex, but that's what feels right for you, and you want to add lots of different elements to it. But see it as a jigsaw and think about what you need to do to complete that picture of how you want to be portrayed. You might have like a big piece that's a color scheme, or I want a really dominant color scheme. Oh, but like I will swear, but it will be a small amount and it won't be totally significant to my brand, but it will still be there. So think about each element and what size the jigsaw piece would be, and therefore how it represents your brand and the amount of importance it carries within your overall brand picture. Okay, cool. And the last point is just doing the inner work, doing the self-development. Don't see it as branding and marketing yet. See it as, oh, actually, I'm gonna look after myself. What do I need? What do I like? What do I care about? How do you want your ideal life to be? See it as almost this personal development journey, as well as that always will lead to your branding and will help you, but maybe that makes it feel more appealing to you at this time. You're going to work on yourself. You're going to work at like, what hours do you want to work? How do you want to spend your spare time? What causes do you want to give money to, like charities? Yeah, see it as a personal development journey, figuring out your own preferences, your priorities and your needs, and actually seeing how you can answer those. That all becomes part of your brand, and that is the core of authenticity. It will be completely catered to you. But yeah, I think the overall guidance I would give for authentic branding is just don't overthink it. Figure out who you are, be intentional, but try not to get caught up in the doing all the notes and then not taking it further. So you have to do the work, you have to do the research, you have to dig deep, you have to spend time researching and learning, but then you have to go out into the world and actually put it into practice and play, experiment with visuals, experiment with colors, experiment with photography. And that play and that experimentation is really important. And if you're worried about making mistakes or getting it wrong, then don't. I know it's easier said than done, but try and get in the flow of play and creativity rather than logical, this is right, this is wrong. And they're two sides of your brain. So you want to shut off the logical side and open the creative side and experiment with all these notes that you've made, because that's where you develop, the development stage comes in, and you figure out, actually, yes, I love this, but no, I don't like that, I want to change that. So it's about doing the work and then playing and creating and researching and experimenting, and then it's about making the decisions based on what you've found out and actually taking action forward, creating content, engaging with fans. It's all about continuing this journey. You have to keep on going, keep taking action, keep moving forward. I think some of us get stuck in feeling like the more we learn, the better. And that is true to a certain extent, but also the taking action is really important and moving things forward as well. So just for anyone who tends to, as I think a lot of my audience are really, really intelligent and really do the work. Your work ethic comes through in how people ask me questions and show me what they've done so far. It's incredible. But also give yourself some play time and take it to the next level, play, and then take action and go do it. Yeah. Okay, I hope this was useful. I hope it sparked something new for you, or just made the whole thing seem a little less daunting, or maybe more daunting. Then I'm sorry. But yeah, I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye!